Pop, pop, see?
You left yourself open, Dad.
With the revival coming August 4th, I've been uploading a lot of King of the Hill videos, which, don't get me wrong, I truly appreciate all the amazing feedback from you amazing hooties, but I also have to have variety in my channel. You know, some Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and a splash of 90s Disney, or newer shows, depending if I want to discuss it, and it does good views. So if you want me to discuss a classic show that's not King of the Hill, that I have talked about or haven't, let me know in the comments. I don't want to Hank Hill you hoots out before the revival. Any hoot, let's talk about an episode I like, and an episode that shows a bad side to Bobby, and that is King of the Hill Season 6 Episode 1, Bobby Goes Nuts. An episode that every King of the Hill fan worth his hoot and propane, or fruit pies, or Manitoba, Alamo beer, whatever you want to represent your measure of your King of the Hill fandom, can quote. For example, tell me you haven't once said this line.
That's my purse! I don't know you!
Or even this gem, also said by Bobby.
You left yourself open, Dad.
This episode has many more quotable lines, and I can't wait to talk about it with you hoots. Also, I want to welcome the 515 hoots, or 522 now since I started this script. You are amazing, and I hope you hoots enjoy my future content and streams. That being said, it's time to grab our protective hoot cups and our purses, our wallets. I don't know what you hold your money with. And let's kick it to King of the Hill Season 6 Episode 1, Bobby Goes Nuts. Bobby and Joseph are watching Connie's friends arrive for a sleepover, and Joseph is acting like someone his age would.
That's Amanda. Oh, I'd give anything to be a flannel nightgown at that sleepover.
It's still creepy, but something Joseph would say. But don't worry, fellow hoots, this statement isn't the only time Joseph is creepy. I dare say he gets creepier.
But I do have an unobstructed view of hot girl-on-girl pillow fight action from my bedroom window.
Not as good as the view from my roof with my dad's thermal goggles. I'll be able to see their body heat. Oh.
Wow, Joseph, that really wasn't creepy in the slightest. And Bobby, you should know better. Shah! Okay, give them credit. They are 13, I think. Bobby is at least that at this point in the series. But still, you can understand that they would be like this. But enough of Bobby and Joseph. Let's head to the Super Who'sin' Phones, where Con gives a rundown on the sleepover.
No laughing, no singing,
No flashlights, no ghost stories.
no nothing except sleep. Also, you have to sign this.
Dang, Con, what is this, a sleepover or a prison stay? And signing legal papers so they don't sue them? You really want poor Connie to not want her friends to want to hang out with her, huh? Who am I kidding? You don't want her to have any friends with anyone, but the kids of anyone that will get you into Nine Rivers, or will elevate you in men's life. Not so much men, but still, let them have fun, sheesh. Bobby acts weird and watches the girls have a pillow fight. Then Con takes their pillows. Why would you take the pillows? How are they gonna sleep without pillows? Yours, Hootie, can't get any sleep without a nice comfy pillow under my head. I'm not gonna sleep with my sleeping bag and no pillow. Now, granted, there are sleeping bags that have pillows that are built into them, but more times than not, they aren't good enough for my watermelon-like head of mine. Believe it or not, I have a neck, and if I don't have a proper pillow to support my hootie head, it'll mess up my neck, and I won't be able to turn my head 180 degrees, let alone 360. And yes, I can turn it 360. As a genetically altered owl, I can do things that a normal owl cannot. I'm ranting. Any hoot. The point of my ranting is, don't take their pillows, Con! Now that ran out of the way, let's get back to the episode. Connie calls Bobby over to help make her party fun. As he climbs over, he accidentally rips his shirt.
Woo, Bobby, take it off.
Give the girls what they paid for.
Am I the only one that finds this to be, I don't know, weird? Why are we watching Bobby dancing and waving his shirt around like he's dancing at the Pink Propane Club? Bobby keeps on dancing at the Pink Propane Club. Seriously though, it's still weird. And am I the only one that thinks this? Either way, it's interrupted by Chen Wasana-sang, who bullies Bobby and calls him Booby. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the episode where he first called him Booby Hill. Con hears the commotion and makes Bobby climb out the window and lets Chen walk out the front door. Leave it to Con to give special treatment to Ted Wasana-sang's son in the hopes that he'll give him and Mid-Nine Rivers membership. But I'm not surprised, I mean, it's Con after all. Try all you may, Con. You'll never get into Nine Rivers. Hank got in before you could, and that's because they needed at least one non-Asian member to be able to be added to the PGA Tour. But that's an episode for another time. Bobby is made to eat dirt so they don't beat him up.
Yum, that's good dirt. You didn't eat any.
Poor Bobby. If only you were able to fight back and protect yourself. Maybe there's a place you can go where you can learn to take the fight to the bullies. But where to learn such skills? If only there was a Young Men Christian Association? Well, anyways, let's return to the episode. Bobby returned and told Hank all about what happened.
Jane Wasana-song made me eat dirt. He beat me up.
There is only one person who can fight your battles for you. And I know you don't want to hear this, but that person is you.
Huh? I wonder where Hank will send Bobby to learn to defend himself. Bobby is told that boxing is full, but there is one class is open and says it's not for him.
There's nothing about the YMCA that's right for me. But until I'm famous enough to afford my own bodyguard, I am going to have to learn how to defend myself. Now do your job, sir!
If that man knew what would happen to the unexpected victims of Bobby, he probably would have made room for a boxing class. And honestly, I'm going to take this moment to talk about how different things would have been had Bobby have taken actual boxing lessons instead of the classes he went to, which I don't think I have to keep it secret. I mean, you Hoots do know the episode, right? You're not just watching the reviews with no knowledge of the lore, huh? Anyways, how do you think the events would have changed if Bobby actually had boxing lessons and not that one lesson at women's self-defense class? You think Bobby would have fought Shane and earned the respect of others like Clark Peters and Stuart Dooley, otherwise known as just Dooley to most? Or would he have learned nothing from the lessons and become the punching bag himself? I guess these are little things that we think of while sitting alone at our desk late at night with a nice mug of Hoot's brew, wondering, but what if this happened? Or not. What about you, fellow Hooties? Let me know what you think the events would have been had Bobby have been able to take boxing lessons. Let me know in the comments. While at women's self-defense class, he learns the battle strat that would become the fear of all those who would dare oppose him.
I don't know you, that's my purse.
Now, that is a great lesson to teach ladies. The word you should pay attention to is ladies. Now, in the case of Bobby Hill, then it becomes no, absolutely no. You should never, ever, ever, ever go for someone's hootenberries in a confrontation. Always get them hoot hands into fists, and make sure not to enclose your thumbs into your hands so you can avoid breaking your thumbs, and just start throwing wing at them until they fall down and you hear the disembodied announcer say KO. and depending if you didn't get hit and you may hear perfect, then again, life isn't like Street Fighter, so you may not hear that, and if you do, you might want to seek some psychological help. Anyway, that obvious advice out of the way, let's see how Bobby takes the advice on how to deal with confrontation.
That's my purse.
Don't be afraid to shout it. That's my purse! Try it again.
And with that, we get to the line that everyone with even the smallest amount of lore knowledge repeats on the regular.
That's my purse! I don't know you!
And with that, Bobby the Nut Kicker was born. All shall fear Bobby and his devastating kick to the nether Hooties, rendering them what they was, which is on the ground. Now, Hoots, I hear you ask, probably, when will Bobby display this secret finishing move that he implements as his first move?
Don't know. Could be tomorrow. Now!
Yeah, he jumps right into giving those he deems bullies the Pele treatment. Or should I say, kicks right in. Or not, I'm not telling you what to do. But what I'm saying is that Bobby has gone nuts. Let's see who's going to be the first to feel the wrath of Bobby. Of course, it's Chain Wasana Song. And honestly, out of all the people Bobby deals the deadly kick of, that's my purse, I don't know you, Chain is the one that deserves it the most. But as for the others, yeah, Clark and Dooley are bullies sometimes, and they get in trouble, but they can also be seen being Bobby's friends on some occasions, if I'm not mistaken. But when it comes to Chain Wasana Song, he definitely deserves what Bobby's about to do.
Let go of my purse! I don't know you!
Yeah, you give it to Chain. You don't know him! Get his hands off your... Anyways, that would be the last time I fully feel that person deserved the dreaded purse-defending kick from Bobby, who, may I add, never had or will procure any kind of purse during this entire episode. So that could only mean that Bobby uses these two phrases as a way to charge up the impending, kick of devastation. It doesn't have to be in any order, or said in any same way every time. Or in some cases, he doesn't even have to use his feet.
I don't know you!
They didn't teach you to grab the gems and crush them like walnuts in your grip. Well, we actually don't know what he learned in the entire class, but still, you don't just go grabbing random people by the propane tanks. Hey, that's clever euphemism for that. Anyways, Bobby, you shouldn't be grabbing them because it can be seen as, I don't know, illegal, touching someone since he didn't consent to that, or could end up facing some serious charges for that. Like, he didn't just Nad tap him, he palmed him. Just no. Back at the hills, Bobby brags about dealing with Chain and doesn't reveal the way he took him down.
Well, all right, son. You know, that Chain Wasana Song must know all kinds of Oriental martial arts.
Wow, Hank, I thought you said you weren't racist, and yet you assume that Chain must have known martial arts just because he's Asian? But also, what you mean you earned a PG-13 movie for getting detention? That wouldn't have happened at the Owlery. There would be no games or movie if you get detention at the Hoot Academy. If there was one, that is. Bobby gets a reputation in school, and when Connie asks if he's been playing some kickball...
3 people. Hey, I didn't go looking for trouble. Trouble came a-knocking, and Bobby Hill's foot answered the door.
Bobby has become a ball-kicking tyrant and hides behind the hill, protecting the weaker, when he just wants to put the fear in those that would normally put it in Bobby himself. And now he looks for any reasons to throw feet. And since we already mentioned this part, let's move on to when Bobby is brought to the principal, and Bobby is asked about what happened during those fights that he and Hank is so proud of.
You mean before or after I kicked him in the testicles?
You know when, Bobby. Before or after I kicked his hoot. You know what Carl meant. So Bobby was suspended. and he gives Hank some obvious advice that he already knows.
You can't have your boy going around kicking people in their testicles.
I know that, Carl.
It's not Hank's fault Bobby's cuckoo for karate nut kicks. Although, if Hank would have walked in with him and checked if there was any classes open for Bobby, and if there weren't any, he could have just, I don't know, teach him some moves himself. I mean, you're Hank R. Hill. You're telling me you don't know how to box enough to teach Bobby, your son, a thing or two about defending yourself? Finally, Hank brings Bobby in the garage and does what he should have done from the beginning.
Come on, from side to side, son, like this, see? Okay, now try to hit me with the punch as hard as you can. Come on.
Now this is good advice. Don't just stand there, you gotta move around and keep your guard up for when you see an opening, then pop pop. But Bobby just stands there and takes Club to the face. It also doesn't help that Bobby can't seem to throw a single punch because the boxing gloves are too heavy for him, which I don't see how that's even possible. I mean, I know it's Bobby, but how can someone be that weak? Don't answer that. Let's just move on. Eventually, Bobby becomes enraged by getting popped by Hank, and in one motion,
You left yourself open, Dad.
Bobby goes from being the victim and learned a way to deal with bullies and getting carried away fast and just kicking everyone that looks at him wrong, to kicking your dad for trying to teach you how to properly fight back. And if you think Bobby can't be more unlikable, well, just wait. After another quotable line I'm sure most of you Hooties have said at least once in your life.
Oh, you have been kicked in the testicles.
Bill, Hank don't need you close up like that, stating the obvious to him. Your breath probably smelled like a medley of sugar snacks and who knows what. But would you believe it? Bobby feels bad for what he did, and Hank doesn't let him get off the hook.
You mean the nose above your belt? If I remember correctly, and your shot below my belt hasn't affected my memory, I was teaching you how to fight above the belt.
And you were told that it's not the way you should defend yourself. You did a dirty move to Hank that was fighting fair to teach you how to fight fair. Hank was right, Bobby.
Dirty pool, mister. Dirty pool.
Oh, and that talk about Bobby feeling bad for Hank? Yeah, that goes away when Hank brings up the punishment.
That's not fair. You can't do that.
I'll tell you what I can't do. Sleep on my stomach. But I can sure as heck punish you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bobby. Did you think saying you feel bad, or I'm sorry, or bringing him ice cream for his injury you caused was gonna get you out of that punishment that you deserved? But don't worry, fellow Hooties. Bobby gets worse. Hank is rendered half a man.
Bill, toss me a beer. I have to take my anticoagulant.
And by half, I mean he has to sit in one of those pool lounge chairs. You know, those lounge chairs you don't think are going to be comfortable, but then you take a 30-minute nap in and get sunburnt. Anyways, poor Hank having to sit instead of standing with the boys. By the way, Hank, you really shouldn't be taking medication with beer, especially blood thinners. Now, Dale talks about being scared of Joseph, which plays a factor in the episode Smoking and the Bandit, and because Joseph hit puberty and is bigger than he is. But we get a funny line from Bill.
I wish I had a son to kick me in the nuts.
Be careful what you wish for.
Oh, Bill, just because you see something going on that you can't have doesn't mean Hank is having a blast, but now you know what it's like. Should have just kept drinking that beer, Bill, and not said anything. Hank lets the boys and us know that Bobby is in the back pulling weeds.
No gloves, no weasel.
Yeah, that's right, you pull them weeds. Let this be the first in a series of chores that you will have to be done by day's end, or you shall feel the wrath of no fruit pies. Yeah, that's right, fellow Hooties, I said no fruit pies. And I don't want to hear no, but Hoots, you're being too harsh on Bobby. 'Twas but a simple kick to Hank's propanicles. You can't just silence them words. he will face consequences for his actions, and there shall be no more about it. Okay? Okay, love you. Any Hoot, let's see what Bobby is doing.
Ragweed for my lady.
Oh, no, you don't, Bobby. You're in trouble for what you did to Hank. You don't just get to take them dandies to Connie's and act a little romantical when you should be pulling them weeds and putting them in their bucket. I tell you what, now get back to pulling weeds, or I'll make you clean out the Hootie potty tanks. And you don't want to do that. Chef Hoots made sloppy Hooties for lunch, which is Sloppy Joe's, but Chef Hoots likes to pull a Peggy and rename some foods. Don't judge us, Hoots. It's our thing. Connie talks to Bobby about how the rumor that he was suspended because he kicked Principal Moss in the nads, and as he clarifies that he kicked his dad, Con spots him.
I heard what you did to Chain was sinister. Unforgivable. Then I heard what you did to your father. Very funny, so I'm conflicted.
A funny scene from Con, not gonna lie, but unfortunately, it's Con that starts Bobby on the path of becoming worse.
Well, my dad didn't think it was funny, so he's giving me a million chores to do.
What? The old man punishing you? You don't have to take that from him. Till he can get up from that chair? You the boss.
Now, of course, you can blame Con for giving Bobby the thought of disobeying Hank and being an absolute brat after the scene, but you gotta consider this. Con didn't put Bobby under hypnosis. He didn't cast the Imperious Curse on him. He didn't make Bobby act like he was the boss. Bobby did. Seriously, I'll keep it a hoot stack with you. I hate Bobby here. And it's just him playing his Game Boy. But it's the audacity about Bobby would act like Hank didn't just tell him, no video games! But as much as I dislike Bobby here, it's all the more satisfying when he gets his comeuppance. But I don't want to spoil that part. Hank catches Bobby, and he started a new game. I'm surprised Hank knew that he started a new game. Not sure how you can tell that, Hank. I mean, it's not like he started playing Red Dead Redemption 2, and you can see him at the snow part and was like, you started a new game, didn't you? Everyone knows that snow part is in the beginning. Man, I hate Bobby here. The fact that he keeps running from Hank, knowing that walking around causes such pain, mind you, that Bobby caused. Someone please deal with that boy. Hank tried one last time to get Bobby under control when Peggy has had enough. And now, my fellow Hooties, you're about to see one of the reasons why I like Peggy. As many flaws as she has, there are moments where she proves that she's someone you don't want to mess with.
That is it. I would not let a stranger, let alone my own son, think for 1 second that they can get away with showing any disrespect towards the man that I love. You do that, and you have to deal with Peggy here.
Yeah, that's it, girl. Get that boy. Make him pay for messing with his father. Oh yeah. Peggy wrestles Bobby for the Game Boy, humiliating him as the neighbors show up and see what's happening. Now, say what you will about whether Con was smiling because Bobby was getting humiliated for doing what he told him to do, but I think that's him smiling because parent recognizes when discipline is being dealt on an unruly child. Peggy got Bobby on the ropes, and it seems that she has him beat.
That's my purse!
Gasp! Bobby! Your signature move was rendered unaffected, for you used it on someone who, Peggy, could you put it in words for me?
I believe you will find that I have no testicles. Where's your secret weapon now, huh?
She bluffing? Finish her!
Now, I may be wrong. I mean, I'm not a woman's, so I lack the equipment to confirm this. You lady hoots can answer this for me. But I'm gonna say that if you kick anyone there, regardless of their gender, it's gonna hurt. Just saying. By the way, thank you, Yumi, for answering that random question while making the script. Well, I mean, this part right here. Peggy goes in for the metaphorical kill of sorts and gives Bobby a noogie. Can you imagine the humiliation of having your mom wrestle you to the ground like that? Now I'm lucky and that never happened to me, but Bobby on the other hand, satisfying, I tell you what. Bobby apologizes and Hank calls off Peggy, sparing Bobby from any more humiliation. If you ask me, he should let Peggy humiliate him just some more. Speaking of which, I'm surprised Bill didn't say anything like, I wish Peggy did that to me. You know he was thinking that. Bobby still has an attitude, but Hank reminds him who he can call at any time.
Peggy!
Is there a problem out there, Hank?
We'll be right in. Now go wash up.
Yeah, that's right, Bobby. Give Hank any reason and he can easily send Peggy in. But I'm certain that as soon as Hank healed up, Bobby's little attitude ended real quick. Well, my Hooties, that's the end of another review. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry it took a tad longer than expected. I got fam over, and you know you Hooties gotta spend time with the fam. Anywho, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of the review and the episode in the comments. Also, just to see if you watch all the way to the end, comment how many times Bobby screamed, "That's my purse!" and "I don't know you!" Let's see how many of you Hoots watch all of my videos. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and join the Parliament of Hoots. And also, like and share with your fam, or watch my videos with your fam, and have them subscribe too. As always, you fellow Hooties mean a lot, and I can't thank you all enough for all of your support, new and old Hooties. I can't wait to be able to have memberships, super chats, and be able to open my own Hoot shop. Thanks again for watching, and until then, I'll see you when you visit the Allery again, and I give my Hoot in the dark. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video, share with your fam, subscribe today and join the Parliament of Hoots, and also comment what you thought of the review. What are your opinions on said episode? Let me know in the comment section below. Your guys' opinion means so much to me, new viewers, and fellow Hooties. Check out the videos below, it'll take you to more of my content, and follow my other social medias, including Instagram, Twitch, and also Twitter, or X. Until next time, guys, I'll see you when you visit the Allery again, and I give my Hoot in the dark.